I'm Jessica Richmond, and I'm in charge of all things social media here at Beau Rivage. On this episode of Beau Appétit, you're going to learn how to make a gluten-free chocolate cake. Okay, we're here today and we're going to make a chocolate cake with Sarah Cormier. So tell me a little bit about this cake. It's not the typical flour and butter kind of cake, is it?
No, it does have butter, but it's very simple. But it is flourless, so I know that, you know, gluten and gluten allergies and even just people trying these wheat-free diets and all this, it's such a big thing these days.
Yeah.
And so to be able to eat dessert or anything like that is kind of a cool thing, and you can impress your friends because it's really easy.
I am gluten intolerant, so I am super excited about this.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna start with some eggs.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna separate them out. So we can put the whites in here.
Okay.
And then the yolks over here.
What about the shells?
Shells are gonna go right over there.
You sure you don't want them in there?
Probably not in the cake, no. I mean, they get, Good job.
Thank you.
All right, we're good.
Wait, this one's gonna be better, I can tell.
It's not a huge deal if you get a little, wash my hands over here.
Well, I don't see any in there yet, so wait, are we too many?
No, go ahead, you can keep finishing.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do while you're doing that, over here, is I just have some chocolate. I prefer dark chocolate, just because we are gonna put a little bit of sugar in it. You can use milk chocolate or semi-sweet, or you do even white chocolate.
Ooh, white chocolate.
Whatever your fancy is, you know. So I have just some pieces here, and then I've already sort of started to melt slightly.
Okay. Now this is good for like any kind of like Valentine's Day holiday, right?
It's great for Valentine's Day. I mean, because it's light, so it's not going to be heavy when you go to eat it, and you're not going to be all, can't move after dessert kind of thing.
Yeah, because you're probably going to want to move a lot after dessert on Valentine's Day. I mean, I probably should.
Right. So I'm just putting some melted butter in this chocolate, and this is important because if you don't and you go straight ahead and try to put the egg into the chocolate, the cold egg in the warm chocolate, it's going to get hard. It's going to start to
cook the egg.
Right. No, it's actually the other way. The egg is going to cool the chocolate, so it's going to get hard again, and you're not going to be able to mix it into any sort of kind of batter.
Gotcha.
So you do want to put some melted butter in here, and then that way it's going to stay sort of liquidy as you add everything to it.
So how much butter and chocolate?
We're going to use about 8 ounces of chocolate to about 4 ounces of butter.
Okay. Butter makes everything better.
It does.
And chocolate, it's a pretty close second.
It does. So now I'm just going to leave that for a moment.
Okay.
Just going to mix the yolks just a little bit, and what we're going to do is add our sugar to the yolks. I have about a half a cup of sugar there.
Okay. Looks lovely.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these two while you mix up our whites over here.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I thought I told you no shell.
I'm sorry. I think that could have been you. I mean,
it could have been.
Odds are it was mine. All right.
So go like this, and you just want to get some air into there.
Get some air into there.
All right. So while we're doing that, I'm going to mix my sugar and my yolks into my chocolate here, which is going to be completely fine when I mix them together because I put that butter in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That looks lovely.
So we are going to use an almond flour.
Okay. I thought this was flourless.
It is flour. It's gluten-free.
Okay, well then that works for me.
So what the almond flour is, and you can make it at home or you can buy it, it's raw almonds, and then they're dried out a little bit and ground up real fine.
Okay, so can you do that in like a blender?
You can. The thing is, you do need to dry them out in the oven a little bit, or leave them out on the counter for a day or two. If you don't, the natural oils in there are going to make almost like a paste rather than a flour. And so for some things it's great, but that's not what we're looking for here.
Gotcha. All right, am I finished yet? My arm kind of hurts.
So, okay, here, I'll take over for a minute.
Okay.
We're getting there. You don't want to overmix the whites because then we're going to get into a sort of souffle range, which is where we don't want to be. You want this cake to be nice and dense, although, you know, not heavy, but if you over whip the whites, we want them to be right about there.
Okay.
A real soft cake, just a little air in there, nothing major.
Okay. Now the fluffiness though does help with the lack of flour, correct?
Right,
okay.
right. And it's gonna make it so it's, you know, it's gonna leaven it a little bit, but the thing is with a souffle, you're gonna beat the whites until they're almost a, you know, medium to hard peak.
Yeah.
And that's gonna make it rise up.
Okay.
Well, if you do it this way and it rises up, then it's gonna fall, and that's not what we're looking for
Gotcha.
here. We're looking for a cake. So we're gonna fold this in. And then,
now about how much does this make?
this is gonna make about 1 8-inch cake.
Okay.
But the way I like to do it and the way I'll show you today here is I like to do them individually. I think it makes for more fun. You can save the batter, you can, you know, save the cake once they're made.
Yeah, for other Valentine's Day
occasions.
treats or...
I know my mother, what she would do is she would put them in these containers, she'd bake them off and then freeze them.
Oh,
so if
okay.
people came over, she could just put them on the counter, and by the time dinner was over, they'd be thawed and we would have like fresh baked cake pretty much.
That's a great idea. Kind of cheating, but it's a great idea.
So now we have our eggs and chocolate and sugar, and what we're gonna do is just fold in this almond flour.
How much almond flour?
This is gonna be about 2 cups of almond flour.
Okay.
And what it's gonna do is, like, you don't wanna overmix, kind of like a brownie mixture.
Okay. I like brownies too.
And that's kind of the consistency we're going for here, is
Okay.
a brownie cake batter mix.
Awesome.
So, once we get that, also, I mean, the mix is done now. That's it.
That's it?
That's it.
We had like 3 ingredients for a chocolate
That's
cake.
it. So, I have some of these little cups here, which I've sprayed with pan spray.
Okay.
Because of all the egg and the butter and the chocolate, it doesn't stick too badly, but I like to spray them
Better safe than sorry.
just in case. So,
There's nothing more romantic than like burnt cake.
right.
Burnt, stuck on cake.
Like what I mean? So then we're gonna fill them up, and you're gonna fill them probably about 1/2 inch from the top, because they are gonna rise slightly, but not too much.
Okay.
And then you're gonna bake them at 350, and they take about 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
About
So
it.
like 3 or 4 ingredients, 18 minutes, and you have cake.
That's it.
Wow. Okay, so I guess we're gonna do some time traveling, and we're gonna go ahead and bake these, and the next time you guys see us, we will have cake, and it will be not flourless, but gluten-free, which is more important anyway. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we are 18 plus minutes into the future. Sarah, tell me how you ice these things, because they're beautiful.
Thank you. So this is something, you can cook it in a cupcake tin. They sell the silicone mold ones now, any kind of shape, and they'll pop right out. And what I did was just take some of that chocolate, melt it down again, and a little heavy cream to make it so it's soft, but yet it still sets up. And then once it's cooled down a little bit, you just pour it over the top, and it
Well, they
works
look
like that.
delicious, and I'm actually going to have a sneak bite.
And this is just one of the, if you put it in an 8-inch, and you can cut it like that, and you know,
That is great. It tastes like you're just eating like pure loveliness. That's all I can say, really.
Good.
It is so good.
And what makes it so great is that it really is easy, and it will hold, and it will last, and even people who are not worried about the gluten or anything like that will love it, because it's still a chocolate cake. And
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't taste gluten-free or anything crazy. It tastes like really, really good chocolate cake.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for showing us how to make a gluten-free chocolate cake. And
Thank you. Hopefully everybody enjoys it, and happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.